After the events of the previous episode, Raeliana seeks to contact Beatrice, who is supposed to be her friend and who in the book is supposed to swoop in to the rescue to try to solve the mystery of Raeliana's death. A death that Raeliana managed to avoid this time around. But now that Francis Brooks is out of the picture, what's going to happen to Beatrice and Noah's love story? And how badly have Raeliana's actions affected the outcome of this story? Hello everybody, welcome to the Chattering Magpie's Thoughts and Impressions video on the reason why Raeliana ended up at the Duke's Mansion, episode 7. The episode starts off with Raeliana receiving a letter from Priest Eritiel, whom you will remember from a previous episode. She is saying, "I'm so sorry about all the things that befell you. Here's the invitation that I promised, and I hope to see you at the upcoming Hunt Festival." It's very heartwarming for Raeliana to receive these kinds of letters because, as you will remember, she is basically a social outcast for now because she is of a lower standing than most other women in high society, especially since she stood against Vivian, Shamal. We learned that every late fall, in preparation for the winter, the kingdom sets aside some time to go hunting in the Sacred Mountains to help protect the locals from monster attacks during the winter due to a lack of prey. However, they pushed forward the date of the hunt because let's remember that during the time that Raeliana was abducted, there was a powerful monster that awoke. And so this alerted them, saying that they probably should do the hunt earlier because the beasts seem to be much more powerful than usual. Now, this isn't just a hunt for beasts. This is also a social event. Men go out to try to impress the women. The women send off their men with wishes of good luck and safety in the form of an embroidered handkerchief. Raeliana, having nothing else to do apparently with her life, has to sit down and embroider handkerchief for somebody that she does not care for at all. She is so lost in her own thoughts that her embroidery yields something that's rather unladylike. Her instructor is like, you should probably do something different and suggest something else. But I don't know about you, I think this dragon kicks ass way better than any old bird or oak tree or whatever that she was trying to make her do. And it doesn't even matter what she embroiders because first of all, she wasn't planning on making this handkerchief for him. Second of all, it is widely known and acknowledged that Duke Noah has never once accepted the favors of another lady, so even if she were to embroider something for him, he would never even accept it. So why even bother? Later on, as she's walking through the mansion, she stumbles upon Noah as he is resting in his office. Every time that he's around her, he's always teasing her or making her feel angry or uncomfortable. So it is only now that she actually sees him just be calm, and this is the rare opportunity for her to evaluate him without emotions getting in the way. Noah, you would be doing yourself a bigger favor. If you want the girl to like you, just shut up and stop antagonizing her, okay? Just saying, because she can see your charms by herself. She's a smart woman, and she, of course, has eyeballs, so she can totally tell that you're a very handsome guy. All you have to do is walk around without a necktie and with your collar loose. Trust me, she will fall for you in time. No proper girl can ever resist a man without his cravat. Anyway, moving on, Raeliana has an internal monologue which she goes over the events of the story and how it is that it was supposed to go. Noah and Beatrice were supposed to meet each other after her death, and at first they weren't supposed to get along at all. They would fight and bicker. They would encounter each other at random moments, but in the end they would have a final encounter where her hair would blow in the breeze and he would call out her name as he falls in love with her. And so goes the story. However, as Raeliana is thinking this, she is lost in her own little world and is only brought back to the present by the fact that at that exact same moment, Noah wakes up and calls out her name. I must confess, everybody, I watched this episode with my friends over on my Discord server. We had a watch party, and I swear the way we all screamed and squealed in this part, the noises we made were absolutely unholy. Even Raeliana doesn't really understand herself and why she was so caught up in watching him sleep. Here's a hint. He's freaking hot. He's so hot that obviously her face is red, and he teases her for it. Of course, like any other 5-year-old, he handles the situation terribly. Rather than making her stay and swoon over him, he just basically chases her away. So I don't know what his deal is. Seriously, Noah, you need to up your game. Because there is a dashing lady within your knights that might just make Raeliana and all of us women question our own preferences, if you know what I mean. On the other hand, I find it really interesting that Noah's love story in the original book started with an antagonistic relationship with Beatrice, and in much of the same way that his relationship with Beatrice started off on the wrong note, so did his relationship with Raeliana, and we see that now, for him at least, it has evolved into something more affectionate. And I'm sure that the similarities with the previous storyline aren't going to stop there either. One final note that I would just like to put out there is if you're usually a sub watcher, do consider watching at least this scene with Raeliana and Noah in the study in the English dub. I think they did a marvelous job, and especially Ian Sinclair. So good. Chef's kiss, 10 out of 10. He did such a great job here. He had me feeling butterflies. Preparing to go to the autumn hunt for Raeliana was like getting ready for extended deep sea diving. Her mates cover her with layer upon layer of coats and warm clothing because anybody who watched this episode should know that you mustn't underestimate how cold it is in those mountains. In Secret, people freeze to death even in autumn. Poor Raeliana wonders if she'll be even able to eat wearing all of those layers. Though I shall make a very important note here, in the dub, she doesn't wonder if she'll be able to eat. She wonders if she'll be even able to go to the bathroom wearing all those layers. A very important concern, I'll have you know. I just found it hilarious how everybody keeps reminding her that in Secret it is so cold that people freeze to death even in the autumn. They should totally make that the official slogan of that region. Once she arrives in Secret, she's surrounded by a whole bunch of people from noble society, and she immediately spots her nemesis Vivian Shamal and her lackeys. It's hard to miss such a shaggy red-haired vixen. She also spots Noah, who is seen surrounded by a whole bunch of fawning young women who want to give him their handkerchiefs, and he accepts them. She's like, whatever, I don't care. Because after all, she was only prepared to give her handkerchief to one person. Who should it be? Of course, our beloved Adam Taylor. Now, before she can give him her handkerchief, she sees Lady Ainsley riding off gallantly, taking a part of her ribbon with her, leaving a mesmerized Raeliana behind looking out after the gallant Lady Knight. She wants to give her handkerchief to Adam Taylor, but before she can do so, Noah intercepts her and asks that she give him a handkerchief. Of course, how was she supposed to know that he was going to accept her handkerchief or that he even wanted her handkerchief? So she's like, I don't have anything for you. Please give that to Adam Taylor. Finally, after baiting her around and making her angry, of course, he gives the handkerchief and the treats over to Adam Taylor, and she finally gives in and hands him a handkerchief that she made for him. She also orders him to take the knee and properly be chivalrous about it. When he does so, however, she realizes that she wasn't prepared for just how dramatic and how showy he was going to be about it. Of course, this draws the attention of so many young women, especially a red-headed vixen who of course is going to be super jealous and make her life difficult while Raeliana is in that castle. As an aside, I was looking forward to seeing many parts adapted, but none more than this part where Adam Taylor takes a look at the handkerchief that Raeliana embroidered for him and is exceedingly puzzled at the dragon that she gave him. And the only thing that he can conclude is that Raeliana wants him to slay a dragon for her. I can totally see him move heaven and earth to give his mistress what she wants. Once the knights go, Vivian, Shamal, and her lackeys lose absolutely no time. They corner her and they try to bully her in many ways, but Raeliana is not one to take this sitting down. Raeliana is not a wimp, and she does not back down from a verbal fight. In fact, she hands Vivian Shamal her ass on a plate, and it is so satisfying to see, because in the end, Vivian's lackeys have nothing else to do but to resort to childish tactics. It's ridiculous and pathetic to see, and I'm amazed at how patient Raeliana is with them. Raeliana has class unlike these clowns. As time progresses, the hunters return from their hunt, bearing all kinds of high-ranked beasts that they captured, and they all give them and dedicate them to Vivian Shamal, who graciously accepts them. Thunder and lightning, and there has been no sign of their arrival, and she grows really worried about them. At last, there's a scream, and she turns to see that somebody has arrived. She recognizes the person as Lady Ainsley, who collapses at the door. Raeliana runs over to her and asks what happened to them. Where are Noah and the rest? Lady Ainsley seems too exhausted and can only mutter out some cryptic and ill-boding words. They are in hell. And of course, our 5-minute episode ends here. Again, Raeliana continues to be the kind of show that just moves along at a very nice, brisk pace, and you don't even feel the minutes are passing by. As somebody that has read the webcomic, I know exactly where the story is going, and I just absolutely knew that they were going to cut off at this point to draw out the suspense. But worry not, my friends, all's well that ends well. Remember, Noah has in his team the formidable young knight who defeated by himself the terrible monster of the mountain monkfish. All you have to worry about is how you're going to survive the wait until the next episode. It's going to be, of course, a really fun one, and I hope you enjoy it just as much as I enjoyed this episode. There were so many wonderful moments here that I couldn't really touch upon or go into too much detail about. So let me know which moments were your favorites in the comments. Thank you so much for joining me today. Hope to see you next week for episode 8. Why Raeliana went to the temple. Nothing bad has ever happened in a temple in an isekai, right? Nothing comes to mind at least. Alright everybody, until the next time, love you, bye bye.